Hello, Durud and
Arigato.
Shalom.
Hello,
Hi,
Hey,
Durud and
everyone.
Shalom.
Hello, Durud.
dude.
How are you guys
Hello, good
doing?
evening.
Hello.
Doing all right. Doing all right.
Oh my God, guys, breaks are for suckers. I don't need any break. I just finished the show and I'm here right now. Okay, who needs a break? Nobody. No, not me. Okay. All right. Oh my God. All right. Okay.
Next, you're gonna say, "What is sleep? What is sleep? I don't need
No, no,
sleep."
sleep. No. I do. No. I skip breaks.
You
No, no, hold on.
know, I love messing with.
I skip breaks so I don't have to skip sleep. Okay, sleeps I do not skip.
Ah,
Breaks I skip. Yes.
you know, I just love messing with you.
Well, at
But
least
if you
you're
want
sleeping when you're
you put
sleeping.
one on the chat.
Oh yeah, put one in the chat, guy. Put one in the chat. We have a lot to go over. Yeah. So, Danny, do you wanna do the threats, or do you want to tell people what the rules are, or or do you want me
All
to
right,
do it?
because it's open today. Yes, please. The way that we talk here is we open the mic when the mods call on you to open the mic, and for that to happen, you need to put a 1 or 2 in the chat. Put a 1 if you want to talk about a new topic, or put a 2 if you want to respond to the current topic, and then I will put you on the list to speak. Also, this is recorded, including the chat, so please don't out any information that you don't want to see in the wild. Did I miss anything?
No, that was great. Very effective and very efficient. And thank you, Danny, for modding. We are always very grateful. I don't know why you help us, but I hope whatever that reason is continues to be there, because I don't know how to do this without you guys. And thank you. I don't know why you guys are this kind, but I hope that reason never disappears, because then I'm screwed. Okay, so I think we already have some ones in the chat.
Okay, then let's start with Daniel Dome about Pahlavi in Odessa.
Okay.
So, hello, good evening. I wanted to note that first, reaching these days Ukraine is kind of a mission by itself, because going to Ukraine, you don't have straight flights. You have to go through Poland or any other country. And managing doing this, like Prince Reza Pahlavi just was in Odessa, I believe it was more than for the 15 minutes of his speech. So I think he could meet the high ranks and basically have like a more important meetings that we will know about them like a couple of years after. And it is also not significant, but it is a closure for Prince Reza Pahlavi, because last time he was there, he was a little kid, as I can remember, because the Shah family were going to, especially Odessa, when they were governing Iran, and they had some meetings before they were overthrown. Back in the days before the 1979. So I think it's like a very important meeting.
I'm glad that you brought it up, because I actually want to ask Jeffrey and Sketch, and maybe if Richard is here and anyone else that is here, what do they think about my theory? Because I brought this up during the show when we were, right after we played Prince Reza Pahlavi's speech in Ukraine. We have seen a lot of interaction. I know Jose is here as well, so Jose, maybe you could tell me as well. We have seen a lot of interaction between Prince Reza Pahlavi and President Zelensky, and now he's in Ukraine, but Slava Ukraine, by the way. And we already know why there's so much alignment between Iran and Ukraine. we have already seen, and we share two common enemies. The Islamic Republic is Iranian people's enemies, but also Ukraine's enemies, and Putin is Ukraine's enemies and also the Iranian people's enemies with the Shahid drones. And Putin has always tried to help the Islamic Republic survive. So we know that for sure. So this is the alignment of goals is pretty obvious between the Iranian people. And you guys could see, like, in a lot of gatherings of Iranians, the number one flag. So some people don't understand this because they see it and they're like, why is that flag there? The number one flag that the Iranian people have with them is Iran's lion and sun flag. The two and third most common flags that they have with them is the United States and Israel's flag. The fourth most common flag that they have with them in their protests outside of Iran is the flag of the country that they're in. So, for example, if they're in the UK, it would be either the UK flag or a flag of England. But then the fifth most common flag that they have, Iranian people, you see that they have with them in the protests is the flag of Ukraine. And like, why are Iranian people bringing flags of Ukraine with them in protests? It's because of this alignment, because of them being anti-Putin, and because they feel like the Ukrainian people are fighting for the same values that they're fighting. Like they see the Ukrainian people having the fighting for their border. Like Ukrainian people are very, very like as obsessed as the Iranian people for their border integrity. Like a lot of people don't understand, like, why are Iranian people so obsessed with their border integrity? You know who understands us? The Ukrainian people understand why we're so obsessed with our border integrity. They get it. Like, so we understand that. A lot of the secularism and the liberty, the fighting for free speech, all of the values that Putin is against are basically the values that Ukrainians are for, and those are also the values that the Iranian people are for, and that's why you see so much alignment. However, I think that this trip might have been for something more than just, hey, like we have mutual interests, right? I think that the idea that the Iranian people could use Ukrainian drones against the Islamic Republic has something to do with this visit. I really think that this. I mean, I don't know, no, but I think it's very likely that this is what's happening behind the scenes, and that's why we're seeing a lot of talk between Prince Reza Pahlavi and Zelensky. And I also think that the Americans might be involved with this as well, because if we are to buy Ukrainian drones from the Ukrainians, or also hire Ukrainian experts to train the Iranian people, we don't have any money. Like, we don't have military money. We kind of need the Americans to maybe take over. This is what I would do. I would just basically go take some of the tankers in the Persian Gulf and give it to the Iranian people to use that to buy military assets and the training that they need. And think about how much of a win this would be. This is a win, 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 win. It would be a win because you took oil away from the Islamic Republic. People can't accuse you of stealing it because you gave it to the Iranian people, which is it's their oil. Like, so nobody could say like, oh, America stole Iranian oil. No, they didn't. They actually they took it from the people who stole it. So that's a loss of revenue for the Islamic Republic. That is arming the Iranian people against the Islamic Republic. That is America not spending on military operations against us, saving on military operations against the Islamic Republic. And that's also at the same time funding Ukraine against Russia without spending a cent. Like, look at this. You're basically this is a genius plan that I think, like, why wouldn't they do this? America, without spending a single cent, is at the same time fighting the Islamic Republic, keeping its soldiers as far away as possible, and also arming the Ukrainian people against Putin without spending a dollar. Like, this is a genius plan. And I hope they're doing this, because if they're not, I would be wondering, like, why not? So this is what I think that trip is about. But I would like to see what the rest of you think about. And also in the YouTube chat, let me know what you guys think. And we also already have 2 super chats, which I will read between topics. So thank you guys. So yeah.
Okay, Sketch is first to respond. Mr. Sketch.
Sorry. Yes, I think that's a great idea. I think they are pretty much this is like I would say not just Russia, also China, because these people are sharing interests, they're sharing resources, and they're sharing assets, right? Everything that anything that is, you have to remember for the Ukraine war, right? They were getting Russia was getting assets from Iran. I remember a base in Iran, I believe, was struck. I'm not absolutely sure on that. My memory may be foggy because it was fabricating drones, right? And these it's three partners. I would put it like not just Ukraine and Russia, but like the people in Iran, the people in Ukraine, and the people in Japan and South Korea should also have somewhat of a kindred spirit, because we have to look at this globally, because Iran has a global problem. The people of Iran have a kindred spirit and people that are very far away but are suffering under the same type of tyranny, right? And so I would extend that to China, and I would say that they have similar interests and maybe even can have some similar coordinations, similar arms, talks about tech, about sharing. I'm sure Japan and South Korea are very interested in talking with Ukraine, right? I am absolutely sure they are. And I am sure that Ukraine might be able to do some trade. I'll trade you some of these for some of those, right? That could work out. They could help each other develop each other's technology, share some intel, also very important, share some I would say not designs, but like sometimes different nations will go in on a technology project together, form a company, and both benefit from it. And sometimes the whole world benefit because we might want to buy it and we might want to sell them some stuff too. We love selling weapons. We love buying weapons. We just love the right to own and defend ourselves and our property. And I would just extend that to China and put that kindred spirit that the Ukrainians and the Iranians have. I would extend that to the South Koreans, the Taiwanese, and the Japanese, and a whole bunch of other people that have to suffer under these three powers.
Right. But before we go to the next person, somebody in the YouTube chat saying where, like, I don't know where your Odessa is. Odessa is a city in Ukraine. So yeah. Sorry, Danny, go ahead.
Okay, Jose is next.
I'm going to totally say that Sketch is 100% correct. I also think it's a good idea for Pavlov's team to be discussing with them. I say team because I know he travels with more than just his bodyguards, and that was a small procession that went up. So I got a feeling the team is going elsewhere to actually do the yakety yak that needs to be done to get the paperwork rolling. Just an observation, okay? And yes, there is a couple things going on in the Pacific. I believe it's India, Australia, Japan, and the United States are starting to rekindle that four-nation. That's basically to tie up the Chinese, which is pretty good, I think. And I already know, and I think it was yesterday. Jeffrey can correct me if I'm wrong. Yesterday, the day before, the new Chinese prime minister, the lady went to the Philippines and started talking to the Philippines about something that sounded like a not only trade but weapons and mutual defense contract. And they were going to go talk. They were going to send representatives to talk to North Korea to get them involved. And North Korea has a very inexpensive but highly powerful frigate that they can make relatively quickly for sale. And we'll see what happens with that there. But that could be another avenue of, beefing up the forces.
Okay, Jeffrey is next.
All very valid points. I'm going to touch on some of them. So Armin's correct in the sense that you are seeing actors amongst the United States-led Western Alliance coordinate their efforts against member states of the autocratic bloc. So that's Putin's criminalized counterintelligence state, Chinese Communist Party, Mullah regime remnants, and or North Korea. Yeah. As far as like His Highness Prince Reza Pahlavi's visit to Ukraine being exemplary of something more than just a nice meet and greet, that's almost assuredly true. I'm one of the architects of that strategy. Actually, I sent that to you, Armin and Goldie, like 4 months ago. It's okay. You're not the only one. So what's the goal? The goal would be to sit there and have President Zelensky recognize His Highness Prince Reza Pahlavi as the head of the transitionary government, as the official government in exile. That actually circumvents and or streamlines a lot of the logic gates that are needed to sit there and provide anti-mullah elements, legally provide them arms, right? As far as the operational aspects of coordinating those efforts, it very much centers around things like long-range drones, not the least of which is FP1s, Flamingos, above and beyond just like what we would call, the way the United States classifies autonomous weapon systems or drones is in 5 classes. Like class 1 is like the quadcopters you'd use. Class 5 is like long-range strike munitions. So it's definitely amongst looking at leveraging all of that, using Ukrainian production because Ukrainians are very good at what they do. Like they had to out of just pure necessity and survival. Like a Flamingo missile costs like 250 grand ish to make. FP1 drones are like 55,000. They're fully autonomous. They have a range of 2,000 miles ish, like 1,600, 2,000 miles. Loading them up on certain platforms and launching them en masse gives anti-mullah forces the ability to carry out mass strikes against mullah regime remnants, independent of what happens at the state level. So yeah, very much so. And as far as the United States funding it, absolutely, albeit the issue, one of the lines of funding isn't just like taking it from the taxpayer, it's leveraging the money that's in, what is it that has been sanctioned, right, and frozen, as the means to pay for it, because that's money from the Iranian people. That's the Iranian people's money, not the mullah regime that illegally that has occupied Iran since 1979. So yeah, all of it valid points. I'm going to actually mention another key issue regarding that supplementary line of effort when I get to my topic regarding the Dark Sea Fleet. That said, all very valid points. So, Slava Ukraini, Javi Shah, God bless America, Am Israel High.
Oh, that was great.
Right.
That was
And
fantastic.
Armin, your last response.
Actually, I'm gonna put this in my own segment, so I'll let this go for now on. Yeah, I'll mention this when I put it one instead. I'll do it that instead. Yeah. So let's go to the next.
And back to Jeffrey about mullah regime remnants, Dark Sea Fleet, denying the mullahs any oil money.
Ooh.
So
okay.
That just came out. I've been in the process of finishing that now. So Fox,
Jeffrey, we're all here 5 years old or less. Okay, thank you. Let's go.
I'm doing my best, Armin.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
So Fox News just did a story today, just earlier today, about the $9 billion of oil, of yummy oil money that's in the 1,500 Dark Sea Fleet tanker the mullah regime remnants tries to use to circumvent sanctions and give the Chi-Coms money to fund all their bullshit. Well, yeah, I mean, there's 3 lines of effort. One of the lines of effort that was sent up by yours truly about 2.5 months ago was something called Operation Sovereign Tide, meaning we should be using our Marines to board, confiscate, and liberate tankers of the Dark Sea Fleet, and then just take that yummy oil money right back to our port. Then provide it to His Highness Prince Reza Pahlavi as the head of the transitionary government in exile, so that he can sell it. Let's say he sells it at pre-operation Epic Fury levels to bring down our gas prices, sans the money, like, and the proceeds sans the, cost for liberating, which is like, let's say it's 10%, is then provided to His Highness Prince Reza Pahlavi to sustain Track 2 material support efforts, or say like purchasing long-range strike munitions from Ukraine. And then you can sit there and do things like, I don't know, buy a Panamax fucking tanker and load it up with 2,000 FP1 drones. And then when douchebag mullahs are creeping around remnants, they're like, oh, well, there's no U.S. aircraft. Oh my God. And that's the end of them. The reason that you use Ukrainians is it allows another kind of loophole around end of use regulations, because like our weapons have like critical technology, whereas Ukrainians, being the ingenious people that they are, came up with low-tech counters to give you the same kind of strike capability as, say, a Tomahawk for much less cost. What are the other two lines of effort? I sent this to you and Ali and a lot of others, Goldie, 2C, is to train elements of the anti-mullah diaspora, specifically the United States and Canadian citizens of Iranian descent, in open source intelligence gathering. Bellingcat, a couple other things, Society for Competitive Intelligence Professionals, these are all legit. So that they can do open source image, SIGINT, MASINT, and geolocation intelligence to track those dark sea fleets, tankers. And the final line of effort, which is one that's being pushed right now, is to have President Trump create contemporary lines of mark, so that, sanctioned private entities then can go out and augment U.S. naval efforts at scale to liberate those tankers and bring them back. So what happens? It denies the mullah regime oil revenue. It denies the mullah regime the physical wherewithal that they use to try and circumvent sanctions, because we're taking the ships along with it. It denies the Chinese Communist Party oil that they're using while they're trying to fund mullah regime remnants' repression of Iranian citizens. It lowers the gas prices in America, and it provides resources for His Highness Prince Reza Pahlavi and anti-mullah regime forces. How do I sum up that third line of effort? I don't know, maybe like the song from fucking the Pirates of Caribbean, right? Yo ho, all together, hoist the colors high.
That's okay, Jeffrey. Jeffrey. That's too good.
Patriots united. Never will we die.
Okay,
All
Jeffrey,
right,
that was too close to the original, and we might get a copyright strike. That's how close it was. So I had to try.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I said it.
No, yeah, yeah, that was too good. Oh my God.
All that to say, we're taking all the oil yummy money, and then the mullahs can try and pay it with like necklaces made out of their tooth that look like driftwood.
Oh. Yeah, no.
Okay,
yeah,
I don't
that
see business yet.
Wait, so Amir's saying the stream is down on YouTube. We're up, guys. Are we up on YouTube? We're up on YouTube. Everything is working. I don't know what you're saying, Amir. Double check. Okay. But
Okay,
sorry,
I see one turn. Sketch can respond.
Oh, okay. Sketch, go ahead. We're up. Yes. Sketch?
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry. I was just, in the throes of that magnificent performance by Jeffrey. I think it's a good idea.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
I think it's an excellent idea, and I think it also, like, it's not just like one of the things you mentioned on the show that I would like to point out is that not here on your show you had previously around Revolution Live, is that this meeting also involves a lot of financial people, and if financial people that are forward thinking, forward looking, forward investing, see Iran as a greater resource for commerce, for free trade under a new regime, and they start backing it financially, not necessarily directly, but you understand with these people, once you get the ball, like they used to say that the word of a Rockefeller would move the markets, right? Just the fact that these people are seeing Pahlavi is moving markets. And that's something politicians respect even more than the military and the voters, because that's the people who elect them. That's the people who donate to campaigns, right? So having these people in the corner might help move towards these efforts, like letters of marque, like confiscation of assets being reallocated towards a unified defense, this kind of thing. Once those kind of financial, once the bankers are like, you know what, this may lead to a freer Iran that I can do some business with. This may lead to some people that my corporation could do business with. That kind of also moves the needle. So I just wanted to bring that up and also remind people that are here to watch Iran Revolution live, where some of these stories break and are later discussed here.
Okay, and another response from Jose.
And the biggest thing that could happen by all of this is that I would imagine every country is currently going shit. Our gasoline prices are going up, 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 up. Would love to see a completely open, duty-free, tax-free, ransom-free Strait of Hormuz.
Perfect.
Okay, in that case, let's go to the super chats.
Okay, super chat time, and they're actually kind of funny. Here, so okay, so the first one is on me being very kind, testing our counter. Our counter is working again, guys. It's working. Okay, yes, Omid is working. Thank you for testing with the super chat. And then Amil is saying, Armin, I'm worried about wait, CP Pahlavi safety. Okay, Princess of Pahlavi's safety. The more desperate the IRGC becomes, the more I worry they will do something. I'm also worried, and I think that there needs to be a lot more security. Oh, Crown Prince. I was like, because it's usually HRH, or like, okay, Crown Prince, Princess of Pahlavi's safety. The more desperate. Yeah. No, I do. I share your frustration and concern. I mean, I don't know if you're frustrated, but I am, because even after the ketchup incident, you still don't see enough security around Prince Reza Pahlavi. I still see him outside in situations that I can imagine people being reaching him. Yeah, but he has better security compared to before. But yes, Emil, your concern is justified, and I hope that they do everything they possibly can to protect him. Roman Cabbage with a super chat saying, "We love Jeffrey. Drones, baby." So love for Jeffrey on our chat. Thank you so much, Roman Cabbage. And Omid became a member. Thank you. And Omid gave me a super chat saying, "Let the man sing." Okay, but it will be like Disney will come for my throat. You understand? Disney will come cut me. You know, they will hunt me down. You think those motherfuckers don't joke around with their songs? That song is owned by Disney, right? Okay. And yes, sorry, Jeffrey. I know you were doing so well. And I interrupted you. I apologize. Okay, it's just copyright stuff. Oh, and we got our fifth super chat, last one for this round, and then we'll go back to you guys. Fleshy Interloper giving us a super chat saying, "Does Pahlavi opposition have financial resources?" Only personal donations by Iranian people on his website. So just small donations, which is very, very small, but that's all they have. Good question, by the way. Oh, and Shauna is here. Shauna is also in the group, or just in the chat. Shauna is here saying, "I like Jeffrey's idea about patriotic piracy." Okay. Is that the name we're going with? Okay. All right, guys. Thank you, Shauna. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats. Let's go to the next topic. What's the next topic?
Speaking Walmart American by Sketch.
Oh, about what? Walmart American about what?
I
It's
think
okay, I'll-
the language. Yeah, just simple
Okay.
English, I guess.
Okay, let's go. Let's do it.
I have heard you guys do an attempt to speak more a regular American or Walmart American, the basic condensed form of the problem, and I applaud it. Game of Durkas is a good example. Like Americans love pop culture analogies. It's also because speaking Walmart America is also what used to be called like an elevator pitch. Like you have to give me a lot of information condensed, but you may have to explain complex concepts through in little time. So what you do is you use a lot of analogies. Like when you talk to people, no, but the Ayatollah had a fatwa against nuclear missiles. So you know it doesn't matter because he had a fatwa. When you tell a Walmart American that, he's like, "What does this have to do with overweight Italians?" They don't know what a fatwa is. They have no idea. So you have to like condense it, right? You have to like, and not just condense it because you may shorten a lot of information. By the way, I don't want to offend any Italians. That was a joke. But you want to condense that information, right? The Ring is a good analogy. Like these people have an apocalyptic worldview. So they believe that 12 Shias have this apocalyptic vision that they're waiting for this this great I would call it a priest, is what an imam is. They're waiting for this great preacher to come out of,
I think it's more of a saint,
saint.
maybe. Yeah.
They're waiting for the Shia saint to come out of a well, like the Ring, and then destroy the world and bring on a new world. So they don't care about the old world because the saint from the Ring is going to bring a new world. When you take these, they're complicated things, but people who saw the Ring will get it. People who know about, you take these complex concepts, right? But you use pop culture references to condense it, make elevator pitches. That's just fantastic. And I just wanted to just speak on how to, because I like it. I like seeing you on other news places. I like seeing Goldie do it. Goldie knows about this stuff because she was in politics. She knows she has to do a lot of elevator pitches to the people because you'll maybe hear one campaign ad on your way to work, right? So I want to encourage that, and I want to encourage our community to create a Walmart American dictionary on this whole struggle with Iran, with the IRGC, to kind of like help take these concepts and bring them to the people in the way that they care. Like a simple concept is, look, if the oil goes up because these people can control the oil whenever they want, that means your gas and milk and your groceries are going to go up anytime they have they have their pennies in a bunch about something. You want to give those people the control of having your prices go up and down whenever they want just because you don't want to be involved? Guess what? You are involved, because if you try to say, well, I'm not going to get involved, every time they have their panties in a bunch and close that straight, your gas is going to go up, your milk is going to go up, your eggs are going to go up. So you can't just detach yourself and think of yourself as, I don't got nothing to do with this, I don't want to be involved, because the whole point of this is that these people are going to close that straight and everything is going to be more expensive every time they have their panties in a bunch. So we got to take away their ability to do that. That's just one Walmart American, hey, this is what's going on, let me condense it, let me show you how it affects you. Like with a Walmart American takes or elevator pitches, it's very important to throw in there why you should care. This is very important in an elevator pitch, very important in a Walmart pitch. An elevator pitch is like, this is about Hollywood, but also about business. You run into the CEO of the company, you run into the head of the studio, and you have a pitch for a movie, you have a pitch for a product, but your only chance to talk to this guy is from the time you get in the elevator with him until he gets off on his floor. So you got to have a pitch ready that condenses your whole idea very fast, or you will lose a business opportunity, this chance to make this movies. With movies, they like mix two movies. It's like this movie and that movie, blah, 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 and they mix it together. So I believe it's very important when it comes to getting the American people to know why they should care. It's very important, because it does affect you. Every time they get their panties in a bunch, you're going to have problems with your gas. Every time they get their panties in a bunch. So we live in a connected world. This isolationism, that's not America first. You know what? It's America last. We live in a connected world. Until we can separate our gas, until we can separate our resources, that day is not today. Until then, maybe then we can talk about, have those conversations. But where we live in this world right now, we cannot afford to do that. We would just destroy ourselves. And that's not America. Destroying ourselves for the sake of being isolated is not America first. It's America last. So that's all I wanted to talk about. I wanted to extend it to the liberty politics community to anytime they have a good elevator pitch, a good Walmart American take, just throw it out there, make it relatable, make it concise, make it use not necessarily pop culture, but use any popular concept that you can condense and mix into this situation. And with that, I'm gonna go because I got a call.
We should maybe, guys, at some point think of how to maybe use Star Wars or Lord of the Ring. I don't know which one. Maybe I think maybe Star Wars, because there's a lot more resemblances there. And you guys are a bunch of nerds here that know these stuff a lot better than I do. So we could probably come up with like everybody and everything in Star Wars and find the equivalent version of that in what's happening inside Iran, and basically connect the dots. So people are saying Dune, but I think people are more familiar in the United States with everybody and who's who in Star Wars. I might be wrong about that. I know a lot of people here prefer Dune, but I think Star Wars would work better. And when we have the Imperial Army and everything, like we have IRGC, we have Khamenei, we have everything we need. So maybe like connecting the dots there, and that would be an effective way of explaining that to the Americans. Let me know if anybody has, think of like if there's enough dots to connect to be able to make that happen. Yeah. Okay. So, and yeah, we have Sith versus Imperial. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's basically the mullahs versus the IRGC. That's perfect. That is mullahs versus IRGC. Like we could explain all of this. I think more people would understand that. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to Star Wars, but I'm sure you guys do. But anyways, there were more people who wanted to respond.
Yeah, Noah?
Who? Oh, Noah. Your audio is bad, Danny. Here, go.
Okay.
Oh, now it's good.
Yeah, I mean, having a Walmart dictionary type thing isn't a bad idea, but yeah, I agree with you, Armin. Most people would relate to Star Wars or Star Trek more than Lord of the Rings. But yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Then let's move on to the next topic. It's
We have
also
two-
Noah.
Two super
chats.
Two super chats. Thank you guys for the super chats. We have the Persian American saying it's Noah. Okay, how many accounts do you have on YouTube? Oh, it's Noah. It's our Noah right here. Thank you, Noah. Thank you for the super chat. Saying it's Noah. Change the name again. Oh, again. Okay. LOL. But I love Jeffrey singing. LOL. He's also doing good on Trump's impressions. Yes, I don't know how he does it. It's pretty good. Saying, and yet Disney doesn't F around. No, they don't. Yep, they come for you. They come for you. I know people who have been cut by Disney. Like they really come for you, right? They don't joke around. And then Cat Miowski. Oh, it's our own very own Cat Miowski here, saying, "Did you send people to my lives?" Yes, we did, and we're gonna do it again, guys. Kat has a YouTube channel where she observes live all the time, 24/7, the military flights around the Middle East. And she also is watching Tel Aviv skyline. And so basically she's Cat Miowski. And what do cats do? They watch birds. So Cat is watching birds, different kinds of birds. So that's why it's very fitting. And if you want to go here, here's the link to her YouTube channel. And it's not working. Let me try again. Link to her YouTube channel in the chat. Go and support her. And if you want to watch all the military flights, all the flights around the Middle East, and be the first one to know when something is happening, go check out her channel, right? And wait, she says some people mentioned it. Armin, you are awesome. Oh, thank you. And yeah, BT and everybody else was mentioning it as well, saying I appreciate it. Been trying to grow for so long. Payande Iran. Oh my God, guys, Kat has been trying to grow her channel for so long. Please go support her. Again, that's her channel. She's live all the time, and you could always go and watch what's happening when it comes to the flights around the Middle East, and also skylines of Tel Aviv. And yeah, bird watching. If you want to go bird watching, that's the best channel to do it. And thank you again, Kat, for supporting us. And then we had one more super chat. Sorry, Shana is saying the Durkas are orcs. Yes, Iranians are just taking back the Shire. That's good. So the Durkas are the orcs. Good. And then one more super chat. Thank you, Shana. Dominic with another super chat, getting us to 10 super chats. That's why we got confetti on this on our chat saying this is totally Blues Brother type of shit. Okay. Okay. Yes, that's good. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. All right. Sorry, what was the next topic?
Yeah, Jeffrey, if you want to respond to the super chat, I can give you like 15 seconds.
Oh, I was just going to say, given the very valuable service that Kat provides with her channel, outlines the utility. That's one of the things I'm going to use. One of the things I want to work this with you, Armin, if I could, you and Ollie, is I'll run it through my nonprofit and reach out to the very organizations that provide that training and see if they'd be willing to provide that training for free, and they can write it off on their taxes. So that way we'll refine and sharpen the skills and services that are provided via people like Kat when she does the open intelligence assessment. And we'll start taking money away from mullahs, like legit. We'll translate that into pain for mullah regime remnants.
Awesome.
All right. So next topic is Noah about Chinese missile downing F-15.
Chinese missile downing F-15. Okay.
Yep. I sent a link. This is from an NBC News article. Take it with a pinch of salt. But yeah, there was a report that the F-15 that was shot down that set off the, I would say the heroic rescue mission, was shot by a Chinese-made shoulder-launched missile. And they also apparently provided the Islamic regime with a long-range early warning radar system that can spot stealth aircraft. So I am not sure how effective it is. A quantum radar. Okay, well, Jeffrey can talk more about that, but the U.S. military is investigating whether this is the case, but I thought you would be interested in reading this, Armin, because if this is the case, we've been knowing that before the war, China was shipping in a lot of stuff into Iran for the regime, and we did not know what was in these cargo planes. And now we kind of have a hunch as to what was in those planes. Yeah. So yeah.
So let me read a summary. The article. I basically copied and pasted the entirety on AI to get a summary of it. So I'll just read the summary of it. So the title of the article is that Iran may have used Chinese missile to shoot down U.S. fighter jet, sources say. And here's a summary. Sources familiar with the matter tell NBC News that the U.S. F-15E Strike Eagle downed over Iran last month was likely struck by Chinese-made shorter launch missile Manpad. By the way, guys, this is exactly what we said when it happened here on in our community, but also on Iran Revolution Live. Jeffrey was mentioning that as well. So it was, and also Potipto, before it happened, guys, Potipto before it happened warned that this could happen because he saw it when he was being arrested, and he was trying to warn the world that this is going to happen, because after United States and Israel took down all of the air defense of the Islamic Republic, a lot of the air defense, then the American planes were felt confident, and they were flying lower. And because they were flying lower, because these manpads cannot reach the planes as soon as they go just a little bit high. So but because there was no air defense, the American fighter jets were basically flying very low, and that's how one of these advanced Chinese manpads managed to reach it, right? So let me read the rest of the summary. Additionally, officials are investigating claims that China may have provided Iran with advanced long-range radar capable of tracking stealth aircraft. By the way, guys, isn't it great that in our group we said something that might happen because of the people that we're connected to before it's even happened? Like, this shows that the community we're building here and the connections that we have is like pretty good here. It's pretty solid. People should take us more seriously here, right? I'm glad that it didn't cause any casualties though by the Americans, right? So these revelations continues by the summary. These revelations create significant diplomatic friction as the U.S. continues to navigate both the ongoing conflict and ceasefire negotiations with Iran, while President Trump has stated that President Xi assured him China is not supplying weapons to Iran. The potential use of Chinese military hardware, alongside previous U.S. allegations of China providing satellite data to Iranian forces, challenges those assurances. Despite these reports, U.S. officials maintain that any Chinese support has not had any decisive operational impact on the battlefield, and the administration has insisted that it is not relying on Beijing to help resolve the conflict. Yeah, you don't say. Okay, so I see there's a couple of responses to this in the chat, so some people want to respond. Let's go ahead.
Okay, Jonathan is first. Jonathan, did you want to respond, or did you want me to read your response? I don't know if you're gonna. Okay, he wrote his response, so since he's not unmuting, I'm going to read it. Didn't the Americans also say that they found materials that could be used for making missiles on the seized ship Tuska?
Yeah. So what we know is that China is giving missile components to the Islamic Republic, and Russia, and not just that, through land routes as well. And Russia is giving drone components to the Islamic Republic through the Caspian Sea. So Pete Hicks had mentioned that they have managed to successfully destroy many of the factories of the Islamic Republic that built the missile components inside Iran. So the missile cities are really hard to get to because they have layers and layers of granite on top of them. So the Americans came up with a great idea of like, okay, if we can't get to the missile cities, you don't have like the factories that make the components that you need in those missile cities to basically get together to create the missiles. Those are not protected. Those are outside of the missile cities. So basically the production chain that goes into building these missiles, a lot of those factories have been destroyed inside Iran. However, China is giving the missile components that the Islamic Republic needs to build them, and they have actually managed to build a lot of them during the ceasefire.
Okay, Jose is next.
Okay. I have a cousin that flew the F-22 Raptor in the Air Force. He just retired a couple of years ago. He told me that aircraft, which it has been used, has the capability of doing something that totally freaked me out. If you turn a radar on it, it can target where the source of that radar is and fire a missile that'll target that radar beam. Bye-bye radar. We know that the United States and Israel combined during the first, and I think the F-35 also has that capability. So I don't know, but I do believe that within the first 2 or 3 days, all radar systems in Iran ceased to exist. And a lot of the launchers for anti-aircraft also ceased to exist because they depended on those radar locks. So basically, that article was great. It's about a month and a half late. But yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Jeffrey is next.
It's true. I mean, that couple of things. It's true we hammered the living shit out of the large fixed anti-aircraft emplacements and or strategic radar in our opening strike. That was very much suppression of enemy air defense, or SEAD. A lot of that was done via long-range cruise missiles because it doesn't put pilots at risk. Plus, long-range cruise missiles like Tomahawks kind of hug the terrain, which means they hide within the radar horizon of the Earth when they come over the curve, and they like snake their way through the terrain. So they're using large topography to hide their signature and all that. The Chinese Communist Party did indeed provide large mixers to upgrade the Mullah regime's ballistic missiles from liquid to solid fuel. And that's one of the reasons why we had to carry out Operation Epic Fury, when the intel showed very conclusively the Mullah regime was getting ready to mass launch solid fuel ballistic missiles and drones against U.S. forces, Israeli and Gulf state allies. And there was intelligence showing that the mullahs were marrying chemical and biological warheads to their missiles. So after the strike, we hammered the shit out of them. The Chi-Coms and Putin's criminalized counterintelligence days started flooding in some capability to try and turn Iran into the anti-U.S. Western version of what Ukraine got turned into via our righteous support of Ukrainian resistance against Putin's illegal war of aggression in Ukraine. Part and parcel of that was providing the Mullah regime MADPAD missiles and longer range radar. If I remember correctly, the long range radar was the YLC-8B, which actually uses a more conventional UHF band early warning radar, although it uses longer wavelengths, which makes it reduces the efficacy of stealth shaping and radar absorbent material. And they claim it has ranges of 350 to 700 meters. Maybe not. It's not like it turns it completely visible. That said, it definitely increases the how accurate you can stealth aircraft are not completely invisible. They just reduce the radar cross section to something so tiny that your radar can't see it. I mean, the Chi-Coms are investing in things like quantum radar to defeat first and second generation stealth. That was actually mentioned for our Australian friends here, like CB, by the Australian Minister of Defense in 2019. So what does all this kind of shake out? It very much outlines, again, the organizational operational ties between member states of the autocratic bloc, Putin, Xi, Mullah remnants, North Korea. And it also, in no uncertain detail, outlines why the forces of freedom, right, the U.S.-led Western Alliance and our allies like Ukrainian Defense Forces and the anti-Mullah remnants, and the anti-Mullah diaspora against the Mullah regime remnants, Israel, need to coordinate our efforts to push back against them.
All right. Next response from Samantha. She wants to say that she recently discovered that she wants to make it her life mission to tear down the Chinese firewall.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Woo! Yes. Wait. That's amazing. Thank you, Samantha. Samantha, I consider Samantha to be our spy among the leftists. I don't know if that's a good way of Samantha. Are you comfortable with that? You're basically our spy. Okay, yeah, she's putting a heart. Okay, that's good. Okay, good. Yes. Okay, love that.
All right. Sketch.
But before Sketch, guys, this is a pretty look at how much we're advancing. Liberty Politics has officially its first spy, okay, among the commies. Okay, this is how advanced we are here. But yeah, okay, go Sketch.
I'd like to thank Samantha. That's great. That's progress for real. And as far as weapons, what we're also looking at is the resurgence of the F-47. I think it was. We're getting into better weapons. We're getting into better laser weapons. We're getting into a lot of good stuff as far as weapons. I want to also remind the people that China took a lot of very big planes into Iran at the beginning of the conflict, which might have been them sending their best anti-air. At the time, there was a lot of reports of very, very, very big transport type airplane. Yes, the F-back 21 is fantastic. As Jeff is giving me some good insight in the chat, but I would like to remind everyone that before and after, China has constantly been assisting Iran, and I would just like to reiterate: it's Russia, China, and Iran, and all the people that have to deal with any of these three should know that their struggles are entwined. These people are helping each other. I would extend this also to Cuba and Venezuela. Like Jose knows that the Cubans were in Venezuela protecting Maduro, so Maduro could send that oil to Iran, right? To China, right? And this triumvirate of evil people is, we say, well, specifically Jeffrey says shy comms. Why would you say shy comms? Because we want to separate the Chinese communists from the rest of them, right? Why does Jeffrey say Putin's illegal counterintelligence regime, and he doesn't say Russia? Because he wants to separate this counter intel regime from the Russian people. We're not against the Russian people. We're not against the Chinese people. And of course, we're all for the people of Iran. But we have to understand how these outside nations are using their ghost fleets and taking advantage of this, Marxist socialism, where a few at the top get to control the resources and sell it out at bargain bottom prices to other dictators.
That was so good, Sketch. I really enjoyed listening to you. That was pretty on point. Loved it. And guys, what's the complete list of countries that needs to be liberated? We have Iran, we have Russia, we have China, we have Venezuela, we have Cuba, we have North Korea, Afghanistan, Pakistan. I wouldn't say liberated. I mean, Pakistan is actually the population is actually a huge part of the problem. So I don't know. Burma, Oman, Yemen. Oh yes, Yemen. Oh, the list is big. Yeah. Okay. Did I miss all of Africa? Right. Mali. Yeah, Mali just fell to Al Qaeda. Jesus. Okay, so we have a lot of work to do. Okay. All right. Nigeria. Yeah. Okay. Yep, guys, we have a lot of work to do. Lebanon, UK. I mean, UK. Yes, liberate. We need to liberate UK. True. Okay. Okay. South Africa. Okay. All right. Big
One more
list.
response from Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
You guys touched, you crushed it all. I mean, I just want to say, well done, Sketch. 100%.
Okay,
That was great.
then let's go to the super chat.
All right, 2 super chats. One from Wyatt saying, AI, you can make cartoons. The new man isn't smart enough to understand words. Cartoons can explain ideas and keep the interest of devolving humans. I wouldn't say humans are devolving, but okay, but yes, cartoons would be helpful. I mean, they said the same thing about they thought we were devolving because we had calculators. This is actually ancient, Wyatt. They used to ancient Greek were saying that about writing. Ancient Greek people were saying that about writing. They're like, oh my God, this new technology of writing is going to make everyone dumb because no people are not going to write shit. Everyone's going to write shit down and no one's going to remember anything anymore. But people didn't get dumber. People just they got their cognitive capacity was freed up to work on something else, right? But it ended up keep on working in the same way that it used to. Oh my God, look at that, guys. Look at your screen. Nore and BT are together. Oh my God. Wait, can I make this bigger?
What?
Hi.
Jeff.
Oh
We
my
didn't mean
God.
to interrupt. Go ahead. We did.
No,
Danny's
no.
modding, so we came to cause trouble.
Yes, look at that. They're together. Oh my God. One day we're gonna all be together. This is great. I wish I was there. Yeah, so cute. Oh, what are you showing us? It's so small. Are you showing us her nails? What was that? Okay, I can't see. It's so small. Okay. Oh, great. You guys. Okay. All right. So one more super chat, and then we go to the next topic. Shauna saying ice cream for Samantha. Shauna just gave us a super chat saying ice cream for Samantha. So Samantha, you have some ice cream. Thank you, Shauna. Okay. And then we have another super chat from Shauna saying North Syria and the other Emirate states of Israel need to be on the list. Yes, good one. Yes, good. Yeah, I mean Syria as a whole actually still needs to be liberated. And thank you, Shauna. Thank you for the super chats. Okay, what's the next topic?
I don't know what the next topic is, but I know that it's yours, Armin.
Oh, it's mine. Is there anyone after me? Or am I done?
Yeah, Jeffrey after you.
Okay, guys, put more. Yeah, actually, I have more topics as well, so we're good. But yeah, I don't want to be the one that speaks all the time, so I encourage more people to put ones in the chat. But I want to paint a picture, again, I'm going to try to simplify this. I don't know if I can because you guys have been encouraging me to simplify it, but I am going to try to give an update regarding the most recent Game of Thrones style, like Game of Durka infighting within the Islamic Republic and who's taking what position against who, because we have been speaking about this here and there, but we haven't put it together. So I'm going to make an attempt to try to paint a very accurate picture that I haven't seen anywhere else. Put it all together, right? So the parts that we already know is that we have, for the past couple of years, we have been seeing some tensions between the mullahs and the IRGC. We already know that the Islamic Republic is moving from a theocracy to a military dictatorship. We have had a multi-year slow coup of the boots against the turbans. But I want to show you what this actually looks like based on the infighting that we're seeing and the signs that we're seeing that this is escalating inside Iran, right? So we have some statements recently from Kamran Ghazanfari, member of parliament within the Islamic Republic, Sabiti, another member of parliament within the Islamic Republic, Hamid Rasai, another member of parliament in the Islamic Republic. Mojtaba Khamenei came up with a statement that shows exactly like a lot of what is happening. Vahidi and Jafari are basically also uniting with each other against Ghalibaf, which is important. We got new signs of that. And we basically, based on everything I'm seeing, the summary of it is that Ghalibaf, which is the head of parliament within the Islamic Republic, is backing the Beit Rahbari, which is the office of the supreme leadership, against the IRGC. That's what I think is happening, and the Paidari camp is being left out, and the Paidari camp is also trying to challenge the supreme leadership, right? So the supreme leadership is feeling that it's being attacked. So it's interesting because most of the world thinks that everything within the Islamic Republic is now trying to follow the supreme leader. But I think the supreme leadership is being surrounded by both IRGC and the Paidari camp. They're being attacked from all sides, right? So here are the signs of it. Kamran Ghazanfari, member of parliament, recently came out and made a statement against Pezeshkian, so accusing him of being intentionally doing things that killed Ali Khamenei and also intentionally creating the situation for killing Mojtaba Khamenei, Pezeshkian being the president. Kamran Ghazanfari is not an important person, but the reason why this video was important was because this video was posted by the IRGC, and that means that this was also IRGC's position, right? We already discussed that the pretending that the internet coming back on was because of Pezeshkian's order, had the purpose behind that was to make it seem like Pezeshkian actually has authority so that they could blame him for what's about to happen. For the Islamic Republic is trying to be more flexible with the Americans so that they could maybe get to a deal. And Pezeshkian is being used as a way to get blamed instead of the supreme leadership or IRGC or anyone else, right? So bringing the internet, turning the internet back on in Iran had multiple purposes. One of the purposes, as we discussed, was that there are many IRGC held companies that rely on the internet. There are segments of IRGC that benefit financially when the internet is cut because they sell internet at sell the VPNs that the white SIM cards at a very high price, so they benefit. But there are other parts of IRGC that their portfolio is getting hurt. So that's financial. Another reason is the internet being back on provides the ability for the pro-regime people to unite. Right now, there's too much infighting, and that's the main fear of the Supreme Leadership Office. And that's why he's now openly coming out and asking for unity, basically making it obvious that there is division. So it has become too obvious to deny anymore. And that's why he's calling for unity, and turning the internet back on and having the anti-regime people speaking provides the unity that they need, because right now the Americans and Israelis are not attacking them. And the Iranian people who are anti-regime, their voices have been completely silenced. So given that you don't have the Iranian people attacking the regime and you don't have the Americans and Israelis attacking the regime, you end up attacking each other instead, and that's causing division. So turning the internet back on is a good way to have an external enemy so that they could basically get more united. But another purpose for turning the internet back on is to demonstrate Pezeshkian has authority, and this is like a democracy. And at the end of the day, people voted for Pezeshkian. We know all of those votes are fake, but basically so that when they eventually maybe give Americans some of the things that they want, they say, well, the supreme leader doesn't make all the decisions. It was Pezeshkian. So that video by Karman Ghazanfari blaming Pezeshkian for killing Ali and Mujtaba Khamenei is basically reminding people that Pezeshkian is a Zionist spy, and he is basically he's forcing us to bend the knee to the Americans. And don't blame the supreme leader, blame Pezeshkian. The supreme leader has to accept what Pezeshkian is saying because the people voted for Pezeshkian. And then this is the time that I predict that they might actually come and remind the pro-regime Iranians that Imam Ali, the first Imam of Shia Muslims, also accepted the will of the people and didn't rule because he would only rule when the people want him to rule. So there's that. Then there is Sabati, another member of parliament that recently came out and said that this is not a dictatorship. The supreme leader is not, the Shah was a dictator. Mujtaba, the supreme leader in Iran, is not a dictator. He's not going to make all the decisions. It's the will of the people. And this is doublespeak because he's basically saying two different things to two different audiences, right? It's very interesting that he does a Sabati, which is a member of a Paidari camp and a member of parliament. When he said that, he was basically trying to say, if we do end up bending the knee to the Americans, or if we do a deal that is not that is basically us being flexible to the Americans, don't blame the supreme leader, blame the Pezeshkian, because Pezeshkian, which is the will of the people who have voted for him, is his fault. So he didn't say that, but that's what he meant. So this message by Sabati is both a defense of the supreme leader, defense of Mujtaba, and at the same time an attack on Mujtaba. This is why how this message was so clever. It was a defense of Mujtaba and an attack on Mujtaba. It was if you are a pro-regime person that is loyal to the supreme leader, you would hear this as a defense of the supreme leader, saying that it's not his fault, it's other people's fault. If you're a pro-regime person that is getting frustrated with the supreme leader, you would hear the exact opposite message. You would hear that Sabati is telling you that by the people, he doesn't mean all the Iranian people. He doesn't. So for the people who are pro-regime, who are really still loyal to Mujtaba, the people means all the fucking idiots who voted for Pezeshkian. But if you're a pro-regime person that is extra Durka, extra jihadi, and are frustrated with the supreme leader because he's being flexible with the Americans, then what you hear by the word people, it means the pro-regime Iranians. And when Sabati was saying that Mushtaba doesn't make the decisions, this is the people do make the decision, it means us extra jihadi pro-regime Iranians, we get to make the decisions. We have to force our way. We don't have to wait for Mushtaba's decision. So that was an attack on Mushtaba and a defense on Mushtaba at the same time. Then we had things escalating significantly when Hamid Rasai, another Paidari member, another member of parliament that belongs to the Paidari camp, came out, and this is the most direct attack on the supreme leader. He came out with a message saying that this is how you could tell somebody is worthy of being a leader. Then he posted a verse from the Quran where Noah was upset that one of his sons was drowned because he didn't get on the ship. God told Noah, don't be sad. That fucker was not your son because his behavior was not good. So even if he was your son by blood, he was not really your son because he wasn't a good person. He wasn't behaving very well. So basically then Rasai used that Quranic verse to say like bloodline is not important. Just because you're someone's son, that doesn't mean that you're worthy of being a leader. And your values and what you stand for and whether you stand for the truth, that makes you a good person, not whose son you are. So everybody, including pro-regime people, like, holy shit, he's obviously talking about Mujtaba. And he came out and later and denied that this was about Mujtaba. But how the fuck could this not be about Mujtaba? He was literally saying this is how you could say somebody is worthy of being a leader. And then he talked about somebody being someone else's son, not really being their son, even if they're by blood their son, because of their shitty behavior. And yeah, thank you, Danny put the Quranic verse in the chat. So this is obvious escalation against the supreme leader, which shows that everything that we have been predicting here, okay, is coming true. We have been talking about this for 5 fucking years, and it's all now coming out in the open. By the way, I told you, people didn't believe me that when I said the extra Durka people, the extra jihadi people are anti-Khamenei. And we're like, what are you talking about? Like, the more religious, the more jihadi you get, you become more pro-Khamenei. I'm like, no. That's not true. And now you're seeing it out in the open. The Paidari camp actively attacking Ali Khamenei, right? So there's that. And then we also got news that Vahidi is now getting closer to Jafari. Jafari was basically the previous commander of IRGC, who was considered to be a genius military strategist. He's the one responsible for the mosaic structure of the IRGC. He has been sidelined for a while. He was sidelined by Ali Khamenei. He was also an enemy. He has always been an enemy of Ghalibaf. He exposed Ghalibaf for his financial corruption. But now Vahidi is like, so Jafari, as Ali mentioned yesterday, Ali actually figured this out. I didn't know this. This is a part that Ali actually went and showed to me, which was really impressive that he figured this out. So Jafari has a lot more respect among IRGC old-timers, and now Vahidi is bringing him back, which is basically a threat against Ghalibaf because Jafari is against Ghalibaf. So this is showing that IRGC is now taking stronger position against Ghalibaf. And I have a suspicion. Another important point is that the Supreme Leader came out recently. Actually, when was this? This was 2 days ago. When I say the Supreme Leader, just think about the institution of the Supreme Leadership. We don't know what the hell Mushtaba is, if he's alive or not. But the Mushtaba is not a person anymore. Mushtaba is an institution, the institution of the Supreme Leadership. So every time I say Mushtaba said this or that, just keep that in mind. We're talking about the institution of the Beit Rahbari, the Supreme Leadership. So other than saying that you should stop infighting, and whether your disagreements are justified or unjustified, you need to cut it out. That's what Mushtaba said in his statement. but he also, in his statement, fully endorsed Ghalibaf, okay, which is really annoying to pro-regime people who have been calling out Ghalibaf as betraying the Islamic Republic because he's talking to the Americans and meeting with them. The most pro-regime Iranians are frustrated with the negotiations. They're like, let's go fuck these Americans and Israelis up. Why are we negotiating? We're winning. They were cursing Ghalibaf. They were cursing Ghalibaf in the streets. And now Mujtaba is coming up fully endorsing Ghalibaf. And so basically completely abandoning that more hardline position that the people who are in the streets are having. Why would Khamenei take that risk in fully endorsing Ghalibaf, knowing that that's going to make so many pro-regime people doubt his supreme leadership? Because Ghalibaf is so we have to basically figure out who does Mujtaba Khamenei fear more, okay? Because obviously we know here that the regime fears its own supporters more than the Americans and Israelis, and even more than the vast majority of the Iranian people who are anti-regime. Okay, so the regime fears its own followers more than anyone else, because if they turn against the regime, it's over for the regime. But now we have a more even nuanced question, right? So you guys already at a very high nuanced level of understanding when you know that the regime, among the three fears of the Islamic Republic, the external pressure by the Americans and Israelis, the internal pressure of the anti-regime Iranians, none of these two is as big of a threat as the pro-regime Iranians turning against the regime. You know that, but now the more nuanced version is like, okay, among pro-regime Iranians, which one does the Supreme Leadership Office fear more, IRGC or the people in the streets? The average people in the streets who want maximum response, maximum aggression, maximum Islam, maximum no negotiation, no flexibility to the Americans and Israelis. Are those the people that the Islamic Republic wants to keep satisfied and fears that they turn against the Islamic Republic, or is it IRGC? Okay, so now we have that answer. It's IRGC, because by endorsing Ghalibaf like this, it means that the supreme leadership is uniting with Ghalibaf to protect the supreme leadership against the IRGC, right? And so you can see that Mujtaba Khamenei is endorsing Ghalibaf, but Vahidi, the head of IRGC, is getting closer to Jafari, which is the enemy of Ghalibaf. So now we can see where the lines are being drawn. Mujtaba and Ghalibaf on one side, Vahidi and Jafari on the other side, meaning that the Paidari camp is now considered not as big of a threat to the supreme leadership as IRGC, because by getting out closer to Ghalibaf, they're pissing off the people in the streets and the Paidari camp, meaning that they're willing to pay that price to have a stronger position against the IRGC. That's what we could learn from this alignment right now, right? And I'm even hearing from the pro-regime people in the streets and on their Telegram accounts and their comments on YouTube and everywhere else, that they're now more aggressively than before starting to say, is Mujtaba even alive? Like, because they can't believe that he would say something like that. Like, are you guys messing with us? Like, he's actually endorsing Ghalibaf. Like, is he dead actually? Like, show us Mujtaba. So there's now more demands to show us Mujtaba, like the Schrodinger's supreme leader. Like, is he actually alive? Like, show something, right? So those demands are now increasing. And yeah, this is the state of the situation right now. Let me know, guys, in the YouTube chat and also on the school chat. Let me know if this was too complicated or like was it detailed enough. Do you guys like it? Was this helpful, educational? Because this is a level of detail that you're not going to get anywhere else, and I'm pretty sure Sketch is going to give us the Walmart American version of it pretty soon for anybody who wasn't following. But let me know if you like this level of detail. And I haven't seen anyone else going to this level of detail. So let me know. Yeah. Oh, Texas Troop is saying super helpful. Okay. So who are the people who want to respond?
Yeah, I was just I was partly not following because I was stunlocked by reading the Quran verse about how Allah told Noah that he's not your son anymore. And then he told him, how dare you question me about things you don't know? And Noah was like, oh, I'm sorry for questioning you about things I don't know. It's really messed up and people should check it out. Okay. For responses, Jonathan had a question. If the supreme leadership is attacked from all sides, could that eventually lead to a renewed uprising?
If the supreme leader, okay, so I call it a double uprising. Okay, this is what the Islamic Republic is trying to avoid, right? We are already going to have an uprising by the Iranian people who are anti-regime. Okay, so that is the main uprising that we're waiting for, and that has nothing to do with the internal fight between these people, because the anti-regime Iranians are basically fuck all you all to all of them, right? They don't care if you're part of the supreme leadership, part of the IRGC, part of the Payidari camp, part of the Ghalibaf camp. They are basically fuck every single, just go die, all of you. I don't care which version of Durka you are, just go die, right? So that's the position of the anti-regime Iranians, this internal division. They enjoy watching them turn against each other, but they don't really, like, from their perspective, they're all the fucking same, right? But but we might get another uprising in addition to the secular uprising of the Iranian people against the regime. We might also get a smaller but also very devastating Islamic uprising by these people against the regime. And that is what the Islamic Republic is fearing, because they think that if we get the secular, like the Iranian people, when they come out and do uprising against us, we know what the response is. We just shoot. We just point into the crowd and shoot. That we know how to respond to that. But they don't know how to respond when their own people start an uprising, and they have threatened an uprising. They have said you should be more afraid of us because we're not afraid to die, right? So they say that you shouldn't, like, they have actually said this. The pro-regime Iranians have threatened the regime by saying, when you see our uprising, you will see what an uprising actually looks like, because those people are life lovers. And they use this word as an insult. They say those people, those libs, those secular godless libs, they are life lovers. So they are weak because they're life lovers. We are death lovers. We do not mind dying, and we will come out wearing our shrouds, like our white shrouds. We will come and wear white because we will basically be wearing what people wear when they put in the grave. We will be ready to die, and that's what we will be wearing when we come out. So you should be afraid of us. And the regime is like, what the fuck do I do if that happens? Like, how do I deal with that? If I kill them as well, then like, and this is why some pro-regime Iranians have been wondering if the militias from Iraq, Pakistan, and Afghanistan have been brought into Iran for them, right? Because they are bringing different kinds of armed forces inside Iran to suppress us, not those secular, godless, liberal Iranians. They're bringing this to suppress us. So yeah, that's the answer. So yes, it might encourage a second uprising.
Okay, next sketch.
Okay, I'm going to try to break this down. I'm going to take from your idea, you Star Wars. Okay, so we killed Palpatine in the Death Star, right? We blew it up, right? So there's no more Palpatine. And you have these Sith priests, and they're trying to say, okay, we got to get extra hardcore, and we got to fight these people, and we got to have some revenge, right? Okay, but the military remnant, they're not so keen on starting a new war now that they lost so many assets. They kind of want to regroup and rearm and maybe, have a little bit of a tenuous peace while they betray later, right? But the thing is, they have this fake Palpatine called Snoke, right? He's kind of weak. He's kind of fucked up. He looks like he's been through some stuff, right? So, and you know what? It is. He's just kind of a clone. He's like a cardboard bad copy. They're trying to prop up Snoke like he's this big deal, And the Sith priests are like, that's no fucking Palpatine. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but that guy's not hardcore. We are gonna get hardcore. I'm gonna read you our fucking passages. Peace is a lie. There's only passion. Through passion I gain nukes. Through nukes I gain power. Through power I gain victory. Through victory my chains are broken. The force shall set me free. We gotta be forceful. We gotta go hardcore. And they're reading out the Sith code, and the military is saying, hey, you may have the Sith code, but we got all the guns, so you guys better get in line. So there's internal struggle between these admirals, right, and the priesthood, right? And they have old drama too that they're working out. So that's kind of what's going on. And what's going on is the admiralty and the military is seeing, like, you've seen the people, you've seen these rebels, you've seen these Coruscant people kind of rebel. You haven't seen a rebellion. You think those rebels that bombed that Death Star are hardcore? You have not seen a Sith uprising. When you see a Sith uprising, oh my God, you don't even want to know. We'll blow ourselves up. You can't blow us up. Oh, you can't blow me up. I'm going to self-embalm. Before I go out, so they don't even got to embalm me when I die. I'm going to go hardcore, and I'm going to blow up on you. I'm just going to jump on you, hug you, and blow up. So you don't want to know. You don't want to know the mess you're going to get yourself in if I go out there. So that's kind of like the double uprising, because these military folks are kind of like playing footsie with the Rebel Alliance and maybe a New Republic, because I mean they just threw Palpatine down a shaft, right? Palpatine just died, the Death Star just exploded, and they just brought up this new Snoke guy. And Snoke, he's not up to the par. He looks like shit. If you look at Snoke, you can't even look at him. They don't even show him around. They maybe talk to him, and we don't even know if this Snoke is just like a projection. We don't know if he's real. Like, that's why we call them the Ayatollah auto pen, because we don't know if he's real or an auto pen. We don't know if he's alive, if he's in a coma. It's a lot like Biden. So that's kind of the situation that's going on with the Sith, the Imperial remnant, and the possible civil war between them.
That's great. That's perfect.
Amazing analogy.
Amazing.
Okay, Jim is next to respond.
I gotta say, there's Sketch. That was a hilarious analogy, man. Priceless for that. Kudos. Armin, I actually wanted to ask you about this figure, because I remember you mentioning him a while back. With all of this chaos going on, who would be, as Sketch likes to say in Star Wars, the kind of Grand Vizier? Almost think it'd be Hossein Taib. I was more curious about his role in all of this right now as it spirals out.
Ooh, that's a very good question. Is Hossein Taib is basically I think, okay, so if Vahidi if Vahidi's right-hand man is Jaffari right now, and maybe actually the main puppet master behind the scenes in the IRGC, because Vahidi is not as knowledgeable and respected and connected as him. The version of that in the Beta Rapari, in the Office of the Supreme Leadership, would be Taib, right? So Jaffari to Vahidi is Taib to Mushtaba. Does that make sense, what I'm saying? He's the guy behind the scenes with all the connections and all the leverages and all the information and the respect that is required to actually be, active, like be operationally active and basically pull the levers where he needs to and make the right moves. Like Mushtaba is like, does that even answer your question? What was your question again? Like exactly, like I don't even know if I addressed
his role in all of this, and being my gut opinion, probably at least on that, since we haven't seen from most of it physically, nor have we heard any audio recordings of any public statements he's made. I'm almost wondering if Taib is really keeping his image or namesake alive and speaking and directing things really himself through the image of Moshe. That, like I said, I could be way off in my theory on that, but I was just curious what you thought about it.
No, I a while ago I suggested that I wouldn't be surprised if actually Taib is the real, in technically operationally, the real supreme leader right now. Like that's how far I went, right? And remember, like Taib was also he has been a key member of the Beit Rapari, the Office of the Supreme Leadership, but he was also the head of intelligence in IRGC.
Yes. I was
Right?
just about to mention that. Yeah,
Right.
definitely. What was it, like 10, 20 years? It was a long time.
Yes,
Yeah.
and yeah, exactly. So that means that when they fired him from that job, they welcomed him back in the Beit Rapari, right? And but he didn't lose. So and also he was also responsible for, this guy is responsible for basically taking out Khamenei's main competition, right? Rafsanjani, like all of the most powerful people within the Islamic Republic that were killed and made Ali Khamenei's position within the Islamic Republic so high. This is the guy that did that, right? So you can imagine how influential he is, how he has the connections and the intelligence. Because even if they removed him from the IRGC's heads of intelligence, he obviously maintained all of those connections. Like that's not something you could undo just because of removing the title. Remember, in the Islamic Republic, the titles are not as important to the leverages and the connections that you have, right? So he obviously maintained all of those connections, and he's gathered all the information that he needs, and he has always been, so Ta'ib and Mujtaba go way back, right? They're from the Habib circle. During the Iran-Iraq war, both of them were in war, like they served in the military in IRGC against the Iraqi forces, and they were both part of the Habib battalion. And so after the war, they both created this thing called the Habib Circle, and the two of them were the founders of it, right? And that Habib Circle includes a whole bunch of people within the Islamic Republic who are very loyal to each other, and basically treat each other like brothers and stuff, right? So Mujtaba has been very involved in politics when his father was supreme leader, and he was in charge of basically removing a lot of the people that needed to be removed, and he did all of that through Ta'ib, right? So if Mujtaba is the supreme leader, who do you think he's using right now to basically do everything he wants to do? Obviously, it would be Ta'ib. So that's why I think that Ta'ib is right now actively the real supreme leader.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And yeah, when leadership isn't usually clear, like in a king or an imperial sense, you then go to the next guy down, which would be their grand vizier, their guy who usually directs intelligence. So I figured that was probably going on. At a different time, I'm actually going to explore this topic a little more, because Taib and the rest of what you're talking about really seems to be like the true deep state, the true esoteric inner secret society or inner organ of the Islamic Republic itself. It's all fascinating.
Right. And Jim, remember, it's not just about what Taib's ability, it's also about the trust that Mujtaba has for Taib. Like Mujtaba doesn't trust anybody as much as he trusts Taib. So there's also that.
Yeah, for sure. Just wanted to say that. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Great question.
Okay. Everyone put a 1 in the chat all of a sudden when you called for it, so let's try to get down the list. Next is Jeffrey about Ken O'Keefe committing treason in Tehran.
Who?
Ken O'Keefe, some American guy.
Oh, can you write it in the chat? But go on, Jeffrey.
Yeah. So Ken O. Oh God, I'm still trying to recover from. I mean, Sketch, that was some funny shit the way you said that. You had me fucked up for at least 10 minutes, man. That's dangerous. You're a funny guy. So, okay. This I have to give a shout out to Nari, because she's the one that found this and she posted it on School Discussion. And it also illustrates the importance of open source intelligence gathering, particularly as it pertains to link analysis, right? So Ken O'Keefe, he's former military personnel. He conceded the term Marine when he betrayed the Marines' core motto of Semper Fidelis, and he has a track record since the first Gulf War of engaging in acts of treason and sedition. So he organized the Western Human Shields Project in support of Saddam Hussein during Operation Iraqi Freedom, and he actually helped like Western citizens become human shields and targets to undermine our bombing efforts. He assaulted IDF soldiers in the Mavi. I'm gonna butcher this. Marmara, and he has organizational operational ties with Hamas, Hezbollah, the IRGC, fucking like Islamic Jihad, Ansarallah, friggin' like all kinds of douchebags. Right? He's a public Holocaust denier and openly praises Adolf Hitler, and he has organizational operational ties to David Duke, neo-Nazi David Duke. So Nari had actually posted something in school discussion that was, provided by intel, assets inside Iran, where Ken O'Keefe, just I think it was last night, gave a speech in Tehran in how do you pronounce the name of the square, Armin? I'm gonna fuck that all up. The
what? Sorry, again.
Engel, hello. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Engelab.
Yeah. Jeez, thank you so much.
Just call it revolution.
Square.
Just call it Revolution Square. Engelab means revolution.
I know. I don't want to. Anyway, so yeah, Tehran's Engelab Square, and he openly sat there and was like, he said his birth nation. I mean, he's actually condemning the United States. He's supporting the IRGC. He's calling for additional strikes against, the U.S., Israel, and in support of the IRGC, Hezbollah, Ansarallah, Hamas, and Islamic Jihad. So this person is inside Iran, in Tehran last night, violating numerous laws, rules, and regulations, and engaging in acts of treason. Not the least of which is 18 U.S.C. Section 2381, that's treason. You have 18 U.S.C. Section 2339B, that's material support to a designated foreign terrorist group. 18 U.S.C. 953, which is the Logan's Act, and then the Trading with the Enemy Act from the IEEPA. And so, why did I go through all of that? All of the things that you guys do, it's not just kinetic operations, right? Like things that Armin does, things that Goldie does, things that Tusi does, which is why the IRGC have an active assassination hit out on him right now. And everybody in this room does. Plays an integral role in finalizing the liberation of Iran from the Mullah regime that's illegally occupied Iran since 1979. In this case, you had one of our own help outline the acts of a traitor in amplifying and supporting our adversaries. So Ken O'Keefe's statement was actually amplified and supported directly by, I'm probably going to butcher this piece of shit's name, Hossein Gorbani, who is very much an IRGC affiliated journalist who works with the regime remnants Young Journalist Club. So you're seeing organizational operational ties between a traitor and our enemy, right? It's a lot of good work that you guys do. I just wanted to share that with you and wanted to thank Nari for the fine because that went up the chain.
Good. I hope he gets what he deserves. Okay, I have responses from Digel.
Yeah, I've been seeing this guy on X for a couple of years now, Ken O'Keefe. He's got a big following. I mean, he's in the same. He follows the same circles as walks in the same circles as people like Dan Bilzerian, Jake Schutz. I think he may have been on his podcast once, if I remember correctly. I'll have to look into that again. He talks to a lot of people like that, though. You also have there's another guy fuck, I forgot his name. He's the MAGA communist. What's his name? Yeah, I'm in the wall here. he talked to he's known Jake Shields before. He spoke to the Houthis.
Oh, Hassanabi?
No, not him. Not him. Jackson Hinkle. Jackson Hinkle. Yeah, that's another guy. Yeah, another guy, so-called MAGA communist. He spoke to the Houthis a while back. I was going to ask you, Jeffrey, isn't there an arrest order out on him if he comes back to the USA? Yeah, he's wanted. So yeah, he's he would be very stupid to come back at this point. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah, you just talked to the Houthis. Said, yeah, like they're opposing you, they're opposing God, blah blah blah. The guy's literally a member of the high-ranking member of the American Communist Party. He was on Jake Shields, like I said. They all run in these circles, and yeah, it's these are people we need to just watch, keep an eye on, and know what they're all about, because they hate our country and they want to destroy it. It's as simple as that.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks to Nari for bringing that up.
He is acting the same way as Carla Walsh. And for those of you who don't know who that is, she is in her 20s, and she went to Iran and basically did the exact same thing that he did, and said, death to America, death to Israel, all that. And she is now hiding in Lebanon, and she was like a huge Bernie Sanders supporter and part of the American Communist Party. She needs to also be arrested for treason as well. But she is hiding in Lebanon, making videos and stuff, and hopefully the IDF, gets thanks, soapbox. Hopefully the IDF or someone gets her, because these people are traitors, and yeah.
Okay, and one more response from Jose.
Okay. Jeffrey, Semper Fidelis, isn't that always faithful? Okay. He's a dead man as soon as a Marine gets a hold of him.
Hopefully. Except we don't condone violence / advocate violence here. But hopefully. But also
no, in Minecraft. In Minecraft was it? Yes, thank you.
Yes. Yes, hopefully they both play Minecraft. Okay, Sketch.
I saw you guys touch on the Houthi interview. I think these people that do all these soft power moves to promote and propagandize these terrorist groups and excuse these terrorist groups, like Hassan, like you should maybe react to that Houthi interview. I think that is like, oh my God, next level retarded levels of propaganda. He compares them to Luffy, which is like an anime hero pirate, and he's trying to act like Houthi pirates are these heroes, and it's just a terrible thing. I would like to say that these networks, I'm glad that we're going after them. Like, I would love to see the financials and communications and how Hassan can pull up a Houthi pirate and have him on a stream. How do you have that connection? Let's look into your ties. Let's look into your finances. I'm glad that these moves are being made. Like, one of the things in law is that you can't have fruit of the poison tree. You can't arrest someone wrongly and then use the evidence. But once you open an investigation, anything you find out is fair play. So if they look into Neville Singham, wind up looking into Hassan, through Hassan, they wind up getting to all these groups. What I believe is what they're going to find with these people, like Jake Shields, like all these people, once you go deep enough, you're going to find enough to say, hey, this is material support. You're propagandizing, you're influencing, you're teaching them how to influence, and you're giving airtime. But I'm just reporting. No, you're not just reporting. Reporting is when you say what happened, or you got to have some pushback here. You're propagandizing, and not only does your airtime mean material support, it means so much material support that you have sponsors. It means so much material support that YouTube pays you. Like, there is a literal paycheck that shows that this is a valuable asset. You being on air is a valuable asset. You are paid by sponsors. You are paid by Twitch. And if you give this valuable asset known as time on air to Houthi rebels, you're giving material support. So I want to see these lines traced. I want to see these organizations that are doing these riots and these, because some of these protests turn into riots. And if you can say, well, I just funded a protest, but if you can prove that you put in materials and you supported stuff that became a riot, knowing that it would become a riot, then you just financed the riot. If you give money to people that you're saying, oh, I'm just giving them money for reporting, but they've expressed violent intent and end up doing violent things, you just funded a terrorist. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Or you just funded somebody that's going to go fund a terrorist. You're just being part of a terrorist network. So I would like to see the FBI, like, one of my biggest criticism of Trump is that he's not going hard enough on our homegrown Hamas-loving terrorists and support networks. So I would love to see more of that and these type of people being prosecuted, persecuted, and found guilty through evidence and put in jail.
I also want to remind people who are watching that this is another example that is false when people say Trump supporters just support whatever he does blindly, and they just think everything he does is always correct. Like, we always have, like, Sketch, for example, here is a Trump supporter, and he still has criticisms. So that idea that Trump supporters just agree with everything Trump does is obviously false.
Okay, super chats.
Oh, super chats, guys. We forgot to do super chats last time, so we got 2 super chats. Uncle Coping with 1 super chat saying, like, sub, share, and join via link, pinned link in the chat. Yes, guys, join our discussion group. Look at this. Our discussion group is not just a discussion group, it's an incubator for fighters for liberty. That's what it is. We're basically raising an army for fighters for liberty. So when you come here, don't see it as just a discussion group. See it as a training ground for fighters. And thank you, Uncle Kopeng, for the super chat. And then we have, it's just Teme. Thank you so much for the super chat saying, what role can AC-100s play in a HE straits, Jeffrey? In a strait. So, Jeffrey, can you answer this question? I don't know if I'm reading this correctly. What role can there's a T missing. Okay, in the strait. Okay, what role can AC-130s play in the strait, Jeffrey? Do you have an answer to this?
So one of the platforms that was envisioned to be used in Operation Hormuz's Hammer, which was like this mass airstrike campaign against the Mullah regime's remnants in the Strait of Hormuz. So like radar, fucking fast attack boats, mosquito fleet, I mean, on and on, right? Without going and belaboring all the target types. Was the AC-130. So an AC-130 gunship is a transport plane that has been modified to carry 2 20-millimeter Vulcans, 2 40-millimeter Bofors, at least traditionally, 2 40-millimeter Bofors cannons, and a 105 howitzer. And what it'll do is it'll fly and then start over a particular area, pulling close air support and or close combat air patrol, and be like above and just start like doing these lazy turns so it can put all the guns on target and be able to put all these rounds on target. So it's definitely brings a lot of pain to the fight. The issue with the AC-130, at least using its guns, is that it has to be, if memory serves me correctly, 7,500 feet, no higher than that, because otherwise it can't bank hard enough for its guns to accurately depress and target things on the ground. You can, however, still use it in its Hellfire configuration, which is you just load it up with shitloads of Hellfires, and it uses those to target, targets on the ground. So why does it have to fly higher? Because of the MADPADs that Armin and Noah rightly referenced, right? So the Chi-Coms gave MADPAD, it's like MANPAD portable shoulder-mounted surface-to-air missiles, whose max range is about 15,000 feet altitude. So if you load it up with Hellfires, the AC-130 can fly above those and still bring a lot of pain onto targets down below in a much more cost-effective manner than, say, using long-range cruise missiles or JRASMs. Either way, you can also use things like small diameter bombs and or GPS-guided 500-pound bombs on heavy aircraft. I mean, the AC-130 is definitely being looked at, and if you have air superiority and you have suppression of enemy air defense, like, it can bring a lot of pain, like a lot of pain on target.
Amazing. Okay.
Hey,
Great.
let's see how many more of the topics we can get through. Noah is next about U.S. disables ship bound for Iran. This is breaking news.
Oh, wait, what? Said it again. What's the breaking news?
U.S. disables a ship bound for Iran, according to Noah.
Okay. Go on, Noah.
Yeah. So this happened. This was confirmed about 2 hours ago. The U.S. military confirmed that it disabled a Gambian-flagged vessel in the Gulf of Oman after it ignored more than 20 warnings. So I will send the link to you right now about this. I don't know what it was carrying, but yeah. Yeah, this.
Okay. Oh, yeah, let me bring it up here. You want me to read it?
You can if you want. It said after the crew failed to comply, they fired a Hellfire missile in the ship's engine room, disabling the vessel. So
let me read it because let me read it because it's short. Okay, so the title is U.S. military confirms disabling 5th Iran-bound vessel under blockade. The U.S. military. So guys, you can see a lot of people say the blockade has been removed. You can see that it's still there. The U.S. military confirmed on Saturday. Well, it's basically now. Hold on. When was this? Yeah, just now, basically. That its forces disabled a. How do you pronounce this? Gambia. Gambia flagged vessel in the Gulf of Oman after it ignored more than 20 warnings and attempted to sail towards an Iranian port in violation of Washington's blockade. Guys, remember, like, African country flags is something that the Islamic Republic likes to use on some of its ships. U.S. Central Command said its forces observed the MV Leon Star transiting international waters towards an Iranian port on May 29th and repeatedly warned the vessel that it was violating the U.S. blockade. After the crew failed to comply, a U.S. aircraft fired a Hellfire missile into the ship's engine room, disabling the vessel and stopping it from continuing towards Iran. According to CENTCOM, the U.S. military said its forces have now disabled 5 commercial vessels and redirected 116 others, which means that there are even many more that didn't even try. 116 others as part of efforts to fully enforce the blockade while a ceasefire with Iran remains in effect. This is really good because it really means that unlike what many people thought, the blockade is still being enforced. Thank you, Noah, for bringing this to our attention.
Oh, you're welcome. 100% agree with you.
Yes. I would want to know what do people think if the blockade is removed. I do think the blockade would only be removed if the Islamic Republic opens the Strait of Hormuz. If that happens, that would be devastating for the internal standing of the Islamic Republic. But I see Jeffrey put it too in the chat. Other people put it. Yep. So Danny, was there anyone else?
Jeffrey, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey's.
The blockade was removed, it would be advantageous if it was done with Operation Sovereign Tide, and that is to liberate the oil that's on places like Karg Island. So Karg Island has like 32 million barrels of oil that it can store, and it probably is at capacity now, to both, then provide Iranian people money that the IRGC steals, as well as deny the IRGC remnants the ability to use Karg Island as, say, a means to engage in regional ecocide and or mass environmental terrorism. Even then, it would be more like we would be doing the good guy version of what the IRGC remnants is trying to do with like selectively letting their buddies buy it. They pay a toll. This is like, well, we're just going to liberate all your oil, and then, you can go sell your teeth on dental floss. You're trying to get money to resell your fucking flip-flops.
Okay, and Sketch?
This is something I talked about yesterday, that even if the blockade would be gone, that doesn't mean the Shadow Fleet operations are gonna be allowed to come back online. We have been going after these ships long before the blockade. We will probably continue long after. I would love to see what's in that boat. I would love to see, because to ignore 20 warnings from ships that will shoot you, you got to have something on there you don't want seen. And the last time we took a ship down, it had some stuff on there that shouldn't have been on there. So I would love to see what's on that boat and who sent it. And if it was something untoward, I would love to see Economic Fury do something about that to those nations. That's my take on that. Like, first of all, number one, the blockade is one operation, but the going after the Ghost Fleet, it started before and it will continue after the blockade. And number two, I want to see what's on that boat.
All right, let's do the super chat.
Okay. Thank you for that. So we got a super chat by Fabrizio saying, guys, sorry, how is it going about the executions? We got a new update today, and I mentioned this on Iran Revolution Live. So Iranian political prisoner and martial arts champion Benjamin Naqdi, who was arrested during January protests in Shiraz, has been sentenced to death today for spreading corruption on earth, according to his lawyer. A state media earlier today released Naqdi's forced confessions, identifying him as the young man who used... I'm not going to read the stuff that he said they're saying he did, because it's all based on forced confession, so I'm not even going to read what they're saying he did. But so he one of the charges, I'm going to read one of the charges: waging war against Allah, Muharebe, basically, with the punishment for that is death, along with other things. I'm only going to read that one. So that's the latest update from today. So we did have overall, the situation is that the authorities in the Islamic Republic are using wartime conditions to intensify repression through mass arrest, fast-tracked prosecutions, political executions, and harsh prison sentences. There are more than 6,000 people that have been just arbitrarily arrested since the U.S.-Israel military operations. After that, like, there were already so many people there before, but there's now an extra 6,000 that we know of. Obviously, the real numbers are much higher, but these are the ones that have been accounted for, and that number is usually much lower than what the actual number is. And these include protesters, journalists, lawyers. So many people. There are so many lawyers who are defending, who basically presenting the case of somebody else in the very prison that they're in, because many lawyers who are trying to defend the prisoners end up being in the very prison. There's a cartoon that was drawn about this. there was a like from a prison sentence in Iran, from a prison cell in Iran. There was one guy saying, like, I need to speak to a lawyer, my lawyer. And then from the cell right next to him, the guy, like, there was a response saying, I'm right here. Right? So it was like, this is something a lot of the lawyers who are trying to present the prisoners in Iran end up being in the very same prison of their client. So we have, rights defenders are also in prison, dissidents and members of different minority groups, especially religious minority groups. Authorities had carried out at least, these are the ones that we have been accounted for, 39 executions during this period. So this is not the ones that they basically killed and mixed with the body of the protesters. If you add those numbers, it's going to be really high. These are the official ones, the official executions that they announced, that like they mentioned that they announced, right? So this is the current situation right now. And by the way, Fabrizio, thank you so much for asking. I see some people want to respond to the situation right now.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
I'm just going to share kind of an observation. I'm not advocating for anything. So one of the things we studied when I was doing my graduate stuff in counterterrorism at SU, there was his guy's name was Dr. Stanislawski. He's actually a Polish guy with a PhD. He's really cool. And so he gave us two comparisons. One was when Islamic fundamentalist terrorists kidnapped a French ambassador's kid. And another was when a similar Islamic terrorist kidnapped a Russian ambassador's kid. Now, I understand I am not a fan of Putin's criminalized counterintelligence state. I'm just using this as a comparison. So, like, the French ambassador's kid, of course, the French took their approach. Oh, please, there's all these letters, blah, blah, blah. And that kid was, like, raped for 3 days. The Russians, what Russia did is they nabbed the entire terrorist leader's family, wife, and kids, and they started cutting bits and pieces of them off and sending it to this asshole every hour. And said, the longer you hold that person, we're going to continue to cut pieces of these people off and send it to you until he's released. That kid was released in less than 24 hours. What's my point? My point is these mullah, like the mullah regime and or their remnants, are some of the most ruthless, godless, heartless, evil fucks. And the only thing that is going to stop them is if they are eliminated and Iran is liberated. And the fact that they continue to do stupid shit like this, how do I put this without violating the fucking thing? I'll say this. No matter what happens at the national level, the sacrifice borne by Iranian resistance in January showed in no uncertain detail that there is no connection between Iranian people and the mullah regime that illegally occupies Iran. What that means operationally to you mullah fuckers that are still watching this, no matter how many whores you try to leverage to save your friggly little asses, the entire free peoples of the world fucking hate you. Everywhere you go, you will have to wonder exactly who the hell recognizes you, because you have in your evil deeds turned your life into the same prison that you've turned Iran. You motherfuckers, you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Oh.
And then I don't know how much more time you have, Armin.
No, I don't. I'm actually over time. But you guys, by the way, you guys continue. Guys, people on YouTube, the discussion group continues without me. So you guys continue the discussion. I need to go get ready for the next live stream that gets started in 25 minutes. And guys, and people who are watching on YouTube, the next live stream, we're going to be starting with Ali. And it starts in 25 minutes. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you come back to our channel and watch it again. And we're going to go back to talking about the recent updates in Iran. And I'm just gonna stop the recording here and on our discussion group. And once it stops recording, one of these days, okay, there we go. Stop recording. Okay, so guys, I'm about to go eat as fast as possible so I could get ready for the next show. I'll see you guys same time tomorrow. And until then, I'm Israel Chai, Slava Ukrainia, long live America, Javid Shah, Pie and Iran. See you guys. Bye.